Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, we're going to react to the 2026 FIFA World Cup USA stadiums. Now, I'm definitely 100% going to be there for this World Cup. Like, the World Cup in America will be insane. Like, whereabouts is it being held? Like, is it going to be all over the country? Surely not. It's going to be, I'm guessing, in like maybe 3 or 4 states that are like, neighboring states, because America's just too big, I would imagine, to have, one game in New York, another game in LA. Like, but if so, however they're going to do it, I'm going to be there because it's going to be phenomenal. Like, World Cups for me are the best sporting events on the planet. It's just every country is involved, every country that qualifies, and it's just the World Cup. It just has this magic every 4 years. It's going to be unbelievable. So it's going to be fun to see which stadiums are used. I'm going to guess definitely if it's going to be held across the country, for sure the SoFi Stadium is going to be used. For sure the Allegiant Stadium is going to be used. Maybe the Big House Stadium, maybe, because that one I think is the highest capacity stadium. But I'm not sure because it's not the most modern. But I don't know. It's going to be fun to see which stadiums make it onto this list.
The 2026 World Cup will be the first since 2002 to take place in multiple countries. That being Mexico, the US and Canada.
Wow, so
unlike
it's 3
in
countries.
2022, every venue that will host already exists, which is great. But even better, none of the stadiums are located within an autocracy, first time since 2014. With that being said, here are the 2026 FIFA World Cup stadiums.
Let's go.
Estadio Azteca. Despite not being
87,000.
state-of-the-art, the bare concrete
capacity.
exterior straight out of the 60s, this stadium was basically an automatic choice as a host this year. For one, it's in the capital city. It's also huge, and it's hosted the World Cup final twice.
The atmosphere, whoa, look at
Estadio
that.
BBVA. The shiny metallic
Very modern.
exterior doesn't just look good, it features hundreds of these so-called gills in order to ventilate the stadium.
Wow, look at that.
But the
I love
best feature has to
wavy.
be that mountain backdrop. The stadium was designed with a slanted roof to make that view possible.
That is sick.
Estadio Akron. This stadium was designed to resemble an erupting volcano. They've done a pretty good job without causing a mass evacuation. The grass exterior gives it a natural look, but the part with the seats and stuff lets the locals know that their lives aren't actually in danger. SoFi Stadium.
Knew it.
The most expensive stadium in the world to build is undoubtedly one of a kind. Whether it be the oddly shaped metallic exterior, the Oculus 360-degree video board, or just a seating layout, which is quite unconventional.
I really want to get to this stadium. Apparently it costs like $5 billion or something to build. Like, it's got to be amazing.
Stadiums aren't for everyone, but the climate-controlled environment will be welcome in an LA summer. MetLife Stadium. New York's Showpiece Stadium is actually in New Jersey, but it's not all that far away. The $2 billion venue might be missing a roof, which is a given in most European football stadiums, but it does have some handy amenities, such as the large video board in each corner for all your replay needs. AT&T Stadium.
92,000.
Everything's bigger in Texas, and with its ability to expand up to a capacity of 105,000, this will be the largest stadium at the 2026 World Cup. The interior is not a million miles away from SoFi. It's actually closer to 1,200, but unlike its LA counterpart, the roof is retractable.
Good one-liner.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Look at that thing.
As you can see, the people of Atlanta have more
That is
traditional
very cool.
tastes. Whether
That
it
is
be the
very
pinwheel-inspired retractable roof, the Halo video board that runs along its perimeter, or the Falcon-inspired seating over here, the design replicates the traditional football stadiums of the early 20th century quite perfectly.
Mate, the atmosphere in here, because it's so steep, the stands, rather than being like spread out, I bet it gets noisy. Like the World Cup game in here will be amazing. This is probably one that I'll prioritize. This is going to be noisy.
No one ever. Levi's Stadium. Don't let the lackluster exterior fool you. This stadium cost over $1 billion to build as well. Some cool features are the rooftop garden that provides for the restaurants throughout the stadium, and being sponsored by Levi's, they actually brought in some real Bangladeshi children and set up a little exhibition sweatshop in the basement. Hard Rock Stadium.
Jesus.
Of course, Florida was going to host some games, and Miami, or Miami Gardens if we're being technical, was probably the most obvious choice. With that big overhanging roof and the all-aqua interior, I feel like the design suits Miami perfectly. Lumen Field. This stunning dockside stadium is known for its aesthetics, sure, but it's even more well known for its loud atmosphere. It once even held the record. The club that plays here are called the Sounders, but that's just a coincidence because sound in that instance is referring to the body of water. Lincoln Financial Field. This stadium isn't a million miles away from Levi's Stadium. It's close to... oh, no it is. But I think it looks a lot better. There's much more going on with the exterior, and there's even some small blade-like roofs sheltering a few thousand spectators.
Man, I really hope that England are drawn against the USA in like a group stage or something. That game will be amazing. Obviously, you've got the home fans in the USA, and England fans always make a lot of noise. That would be such a great game to be at, honestly. Yeah, I wonder, the draws, the groups haven't been announced yet. It's way too early for that, probably.
Energy Stadium. Well, what can I say? It's not the most exciting exterior, and that's got to be the ugliest form of a retractable roof we've seen. But the interior does have a fairly simple, clean look to it. And like their Texas brethren, the video boards are pretty huge. It's not a center hung video board. This roof was built in the early days of retractable roofs. Nestled amongst the leafy surrounds of Massachusetts is Gillette Stadium. Best stadium a man can get. Actually, I'm not sure if that tagline is a worldwide thing. Just in case, I'm not actually saying this is the best stadium. It's not bad though. Not many stadiums have a bridge and a lighthouse. I can understand why it's not particularly necessary.
Very old school stadium.
Arrowhead Stadium.
Just like this one.
This is a stadium that has stood the test of time. Despite being built in the 70s, it's still held in high regard. I can't help but feel that the stadium's distinctive design plays into its name.
I'm shocked to not see the Allegiant Stadium feature yet. Surely that one's going to feature.
The seat's coming to a point much like an Arrowhead. This place currently holds the record for the loudest crowd roar, despite the lack of a roof. BC Place. This place in BC features an extravagant cable-supported retractable roof, a pretty clean interior underneath, and it mightn't be the Oculus or Halo, but this center-hung video board is alright, especially when you consider that it's been held up by cables. Emo Field. I know what you're thinking.
30,000?
This place is tiny compared to all the other stadiums.
It's not big enough.
But don't worry, it'll be expanded to 45,000 prior to the tournament.
But even
regardless,
still,
it'll still be the
small.
smallest.
Yeah.
But it's a rather nice stadium and it was built for football first and foremost.
Interesting.
And those were the World Cup stadiums for 2026.
I'm surprised by that last
Please
one.
consider subscribing if you have.
It's going to be interesting to see how they, arrange the games and the schedule, because that's a lot of travel for the fans. Like, if let's say I wanted to go and support, England and Nigeria, right? If one England game is in New York and another game is in like LA, that's a long flight that I'm gonna have to take, like 7-hour flight to watch that game, and people are gonna go there to support their team. So if they're gonna have to jump across, multiple time zones and borders and stuff, it's going to be quite challenging, and it's going to add a lot of cost to the trip. But I suppose if you're going to a World Cup, it's going to be an expensive trip. It's going to be, a trip of a lifetime, really. But yeah, it's going to be super fun. Having all the food options in the States, the entertainment, and, the football. It's going to be epic. I cannot wait. I better start saving. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.